I don't know. I don't like how. Oh, that makes me just look so bad. I don't know. It's probably because of this stupid thing. Yeah, just the lighting is not the best. Okay, well, that's bet you're gonna get. So deal with it. You know. So after this thing came, the next book that was a pain in the tush to write, and I'm gonna make sure that's turned on and I'm not looking stupid. So I'm gonna open this thing up, and then we'll go with during cardstock and reading planets and all that stuff and the whatnot. Really? That was so anticlimactic. It's a lot. No, wait with it. It's a lot smaller. It looks like it's a lot smaller than the last book I did. Please don't do that anticlimactic. Like, oh, guess what? It's just another. It's just another piece of cardboard. Oh, it didn't. Oh, actually, I didn't do it this time like that. Because last time, I'm like, oh, why do you? Oh my good Lord, Lanta. Oh. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Okay, that is a useless. Now the book. Now look. I really. Now this one I like too because the thing is that you really have to look at it. Here, let's see if I can get a bit closer. But if you really look, you can actually see. Like there's my eye, the part of my face right there. Then there's the split in the center. It's it's much easier like if you have it in the light, but it's really that's what it's supposed to really be. Like really looking into it, and then you start like thinking, wait a minute, do I see something else? I can't tell, but you notice how the face is at least on my side that it's barely visible. Yep, because that's exactly how. At least when I was going through that whole endeavor, that's that's like how dark it was. It was like that dark. You couldn't see. I mean, I couldn't see anything, and it's just like just all going based on just senses and feeling around. It really takes the shadow part and brings it to the front. And this book is a little bit bigger than Lilith. Lilith's by a little bit, and of course, and when I ordered it, like right when I ordered it, I thought to myself, wait a minute, something's missing. Oh wait, never mind. They did get it. Okay, good. They did put it in here. They did put in the self exercises at the end. Except I think the one that I got, like the first copy, the first one, it forgot 2 questions, but it's not going to be like for like the revised one, the one that has more questions at the end. Yeah, this one's like I guess say like the first one that's a forgot a page or two, but I mean the wording is a lot smaller, and it's oh here let me grab Lilith's book real quick. Okay, now cardboard, you serve your purpose. Scoochie push. So actually, it they are kind of this. They are the same size. It's just that one. This one's a little bit more thicker than this one. But I mean, I kind of like how both books that I have they're very dark. Like they're very like they're trying to be like, come on, come to the shadows with me. We have cookies in here. No, 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 no. Don't believe what anybody else is telling you. Come over here. They're real good cookies. Don't listen to him. Come on. Don't be a wuss. And Oh, good. Okay, good. They did that good. Let's see. Good. And they also got the parts. Oh, I just loved how it's just nicely just formatted like the. Let's see here. Well, actually, let's take a look at the beginning. We'll go through like a little bit of it. Here's the title page. Of course, that's my logo. The mask. It's like in Lilith's book, except I kind of went a little bit overboard with the the mask. That's like my logo, I guess. That's the right word. Yep. There's the title page. Then here is the copyright page. The page just says if you think you're going to be cute and slick and taking this and saying, "Oh, I did this," and you're not good enough. And there's that. And then this is a picture where where Hill actually photobombed. I bet you can kind of tell. Let me see if I can get it closer. But yeah, she photobombed like, "Hey, I'm gonna just ruin your picture, kid." Yeah. And I don't know how it just got like perfectly lined up like that when I took it. It's like, okay. Then table contents on the left. And if you couldn't tell, they actually no, not they, I did. I actually put her rune Hagalos throughout the book in certain places. Of course, then there's the preface in the very front, and then it goes through each of the segments. The involvements of the myths, and then the bestowment of Helheim, the death of Balder, and involvement of Ragnarok. And just like Lilith's book, I don't make it be all like, okay, so this is what you do. First you take your blade, then you take a step to the left, you extend out your right hand with the blade, you twirl it to the right, then you twirl it to the left, you say yes, queen, and then she appears, and then you do this. No, that's not how I operate when it comes to working with goddess energies and the thanks, Flo. I don't that's not how I like to go about when I'm like trying to provide material for people to actually connect with beings and goddess figures, divine beings, or other entities. I'd rather them know the understanding of like, okay, so this is their history. This is how they carry themselves. This is how I suggest you go about it. Except with Lilith, Lilith is one of those that's like, oh, you think you can tell me what to do? Oh, you're just like Yahweh. And you know what happened to him, right? Yeah, he has to handle himself. But with Hell's book, actually, unlike Lilith's, I did not put an evocational prayer and a closing prayer in the book because really Hell does not really. She's not really. I mean, the best put it. She kind of is more concerned about like, okay, woo, nice poetry. Come on, let's go, kid. Like she's more practical. Like, okay, can we just get to the real stuff here, dude? Like, I mean, of course, who doesn't like hearing woozy woo words being whipped together? But with her, she'd rather just be like, okay, just do what you want to do, kid. Hurry up. Yeah, okay, cute. Let's go. Come on. Like being realistic. Then 13 I don't want to say commandments because that sounds just like, oh, he's becoming one of those he who found things. No. But like 13 harsh truths that somebody's gonna have to like really come to terms with when working alongside of her. And then understanding her character and ethics. And understanding like why she's so overly protective of the dead. And understanding why she's all about that. And how to better stay on the good side. And then there's a section with like growing the bond with her, which is saying more like some ideas that you can actually give reverence to the dead, because when you're doing that respectfully, that actually impresses her. but you have to do it on your own will. And I've also put in there, this is actually the same thing I've been using since day one, the step-by-step process when you actually go towards either a cemetery, a gravesite, or any location where there has been a burial of like an animal, somebody, or just anything that was once living, and you wanted to approach it to see if you can actually use it in your workings or just give it reverence. Like literally. I'll even read one that's the visiting the deceased sites. Like step one, ask Hel if you may visit the deceased sites before you travel to it. If she approves, then you may proceed. If she denies, then stop and leave it there. Number two, step two, ask Hel if you may bring insert objects here. Like for example, say if you were going to be, they're right there. Say if you're going to be going to the cemetery to invite a passed on like ancestor or deceased to work with you, and one of the things you need is a crystal to actually transport them. So you would ask Hel, "Can I take this with me?" And if just as an example, or even what else is there? Like a selenite wand or something to protect yourself with, or anything that you deem fit that you need to take with you. Ask her if you can bring with you. If she approves all or just some of the items, you may bring them along. But ensure they are cleansed first, because the last thing you want to do is, like, say, for example, you're bringing in this charlite quartz, or this charlite, because you can kind of see the little green in it. If you were to take this not cleansed, and if you go into the cemetery and you're doing magical work with it, and you're going to transport a spirit, well, you just brought in this thing that is possibly charged with something that's not really good for the dead, or has a lot of negativity on it, or worse, when you actually go towards the passed on site and the spirit or passed on agrees that they want to work with you, you decide to actually have them take home. That's gonna sound weird. Take homage. Homage. You get the idea. But they agree to take it and take homage into the crystal, and then you can transport them back. You have them get into the crystal, but it's not cleansed, and then the spirit actually gets pretty angry or gets not really comfortable, and then Hel comes back on you for that, because she's entrusting you with the passed on that you're taking from the cemetery and bringing them back. I want to get to that, but that's why it's important to cleanse your materials before you go. If she didn't denies you bring any of them, do not bring any of them along. Of course, she's realistic, so she won't say like, no, you can't bring your selenite with you to keep yourself safe. No. Step 3, you may travel to the site location. Before you exit your vehicle and or approach the site, like the gates to a cemetery, ask Hel if you may approach the site. If she approves, you may proceed. But if she denies it, then turn around and leave the site immediately. If she wanted to, she could mess with you and troll you, be like, yeah, you can go to the cemetery, I don't care. Pose up. Can I enter the cemetery? No, get out of there. But she doesn't. But the thing is, taking every step and asking permission each and everything you do, well, for one, is showing that you know your place and you're trying to get full permission and getting the approval of going to something and making sure that she's aware of every little thing you're doing. Because the last thing you want to do is make a big whoopsie or cause any kind of harm, or worse, have a passed on be left out from being, woken and being disturbed. Yeah, you don't want to have that happen. When you are at the site, which is like the resting site or a memoriam plaque or gravesite, ask Hel if you may interact with the deceased. If she approves, proceed. But if she denies, step away and end it there. And now, ask the deceased if you may interact with them. Yep, you're asking every little step. If they approve, then carry on with your intended plan. Your intent planned. If they deny, cease contact, thank and apologize for disturbing them. Do not in any circumstance force a pass on to do anything. They are entitled to being respected, and if they say no, then do not pressure them. And most definitely do not do what is that called? I can't even remember what that thing was called. That like a lot of months back ago that I just heard, and I'm thinking like backdoor. No, you're not gonna have an army of the passed on thing like, oh, we're gonna do what he says. No, 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 no. Step 6. Express gratitude for their time. Before you leave the site, ensure that it is cleaned and the passed on site marker, like their grave plaque, is clean and displaying their name clearly. Meaning that if you go in and you cannot even see or make out their name, clean it. Even bring a little broom with you, dust it off. Inform Hell you are leaving the site and express gratitude for her allowing you the opportunity to be trusted with those who she cares for. And then there's another part where it's actually visiting a cemetery, which is like the same thing, except a little bit more fine-tuned. And then asking a passed on for assistance. But the biggest part of see about like actually having the I'll even read the last one. Like when asking a deceased for assistance. And this one is identical to the first one. However, there are additional steps starting after step 5, which is like inform Hell you are leaving the cemetery before you depart. Yeah. But now, if the passed on agrees to work with you and assist you, ask Hell if you may have whoever it is, leave the cemetery with you to assist you in your endeavor. If she denies you taking the deceased from the cemetery, do not proceed and leave the passed on in the cemetery. She says no, leave them be. Let them be there. Keep them there. If she approves, after you depart the cemetery, and yes, expect a lot of caps in this book, just like with Lilith's book, because that means it's very serious. After you leave the cemetery, you are responsible for assuring that passed on spirit gets brought back to the cemetery. I cannot stress that enough. If you go to a passed on, disturb them, and they agree to work with you, you take them out of the cemetery and you have them be transported into crystal. And now they're in this crystal, and then you get your working and everything put in order, put down your crystal, and now that passed on is now in the space with you. You finish your work, you did all the working, and they assisted you. You put the crystal back in, you cleanse it, but now the passed on, you completely forgot about them. Now they're just wandering lost. That is a big no-no, because now you took somebody who was once at rest, you disturbed them, woke them up, took them out of their place of rest. Now they're a earthbound spirit. That's becoming an earthbound. That's something you don't want to make them big whoops with. Because once they're at rest, they become earthbound. That is a big whoops. That is a big whoops. And some people would say, well, that's not really an earthbound spirit. Well, like when you have somebody pretty much become restless, or like they were killed in a way so gruesome or so dark that they just were so disturbed that they aren't at rest. It's the same thing, except they're not as violent, but they're still earthbound. Like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go, and they're just going to wander around until hopefully they either one, somehow find their way back, or two, well, actually, add another round for this one. 2, hell actually finds them and brings them back. Or 3, which she will probably do in an instant, she'll force you to go out and find them and get them and bring them back. But as I was saying, get back to the cemetery. This is not optional, and you must go back to the cemetery after your request has been granted. Meaning that if you requested them to assist you in the working's done. As soon as you're done with that working, like if you have them be transported in this crystal, working's done, you take the crystal exactly how it is, you take it back to the site, and you put the crystal back on their site placker, and let it sit there for a period of time, and then allow them to pretty much come back into their resting spot, and ask them to give you some sort of indication that they're back there, and now you're free to take the crystal back. As soon as you feel that, take the crystal, now you can go. You don't just go like, okay, I'm done with the working. No. You take them out, you put them back. Think of it kind of like, well, I mean, that's a bad way of looking at it. It's like working with the passed on that are, oh, that sounds so bad. It's like you're checking, well, I don't want to say checking out a passed on because that just sounds bad. But what you're doing, I just realized my mic was all the way down here. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I didn't know if you guys could hear me at all, but hopefully, you can now because, but anyway. Oh, yeah, I feel dim-witted, but still. It's, not something that is taken lightly. When you return, thank the passed on and inform hell you have brought them back after assisting you in whatever objective you have fulfilled. If you do not return the passed on spirit, you will make them an earthbound spirit and they will be lost wandering the earth. And that risks them never to be able to rest again. Okay, goody. Hell does not take this lightly and will be disgusted in this behavior. And then explains some more about why doing those steps and going step, ask, and how important it is. It'll explain that too. And then there's also some ideas for like an altar and offerings. Oh, goody. Then here's like the parts about the altar space and offerings. There is like 3 examples. That's actually over to my left, except the boxes in there. That one up here, this is the first altar I've made for her. Let me see if I can get this thing done a little bit. Get it right there. That's the first one. The very first one, and funny enough, that is the exact same apartment where, the whole thing happened. And then there's another one to the left, one below. Then the correspondences, and this one, this one is a lot more drawn out because I'm more familiar with hell than Lilith, but still. Yeah, this one's a lot more drawn out. And of course naturally, you know what? I guess I will read the I will read the like the personal story of this whole thing. Because I was actually really wanted to actually make a video about it, but I'll do it anyway. And then the acknowledgments at the end, then the self-reflective exercise, then of course the about me, and then some more blank pages at the back just for extra note-taking, and also doing the exercise. So without further ado, I guess let me just put on my reading shades, which I don't have any. But still, let me get that out of my life. So let me, oh boy. Yeah, boy, this is going to be a hard one for me to read, but still. I mean, and yes, this is actually like the part of the book, which is the personal. This is actually a true story. This is exactly what happened, how I met hell, the circumstance surrounding it, and everything in its detail. And Please be advised that it does mention about a lot of trauma, a lot of self-harm. It can get disturbing. I'm just saying it right now so that way people won't be all, oh my god. I'm just throwing the warning shot. Not warning shot. I'm just throwing the warning confetti. Okay. I couldn't think of anything else. So like warning confetti. Oh gosh. The warning sparkles of, oh no. Oh, that sounds so bad. But anyway. So let me take it from the tippity top. My first encounter with hell. Let me grab that stone. I need one more stone. Not you. Need one more stone, please. No, not you. Where is my station shite? No, don't need you. All ears and okay, good. And let's see what else is there about like this whole endeavor. Oh, and oh, there it is. Got it. Get out of there. Aha, gotcha. Okay, here we go. But Coyotes, get in the way. Away with you. Now don't come back. Okie dokie. My first encounter with hell. February 1st, 2017. I remember that day clearly. I had just got home from a long work shift at a highway stop for truckers and those traveling on the interstate. I inserted my key into the front door's lock, unlocked it, stepped in with the key being removed from the lock in sync with my step, and closed the door behind me. I let out an exhausted and heavy sigh of relief. I took a step or two forward. Then in my left pocket, my phone vibrated, signaling I had received a text message. A message with a power identical to that of Medusa's gaze, except afflicting the soul and the heart. So not being like petrified to stone like, but like petrifying the heart and actually the soul itself. I unlocked my phone and opened my message app. To see an unfamiliar number with a message that was not artificially generated, as if it was an obnoxious spam sent out to multiple phone numbers. No. I hastily read the message, and it read, "This is a friend of his," as in significant other, and still close to him, and still with. "And I'm sorry to inform you that I found him in an alleyway a few blocks away, surrounded by syringes and open prescription bottles without the medications in them." There was another line of text, but I cannot recall what it was. My entire sense of awareness was paralyzed, and my phone slipped out of my hand, which began tremoring violently, kind of like that. Then my whole entire body began following suit. I collapsed, then only to be accompanied by a shriek that had a shockwave to it so potent that it could cleanly split glass in two. I repeatedly shrieked in that way, refusing to accept my first love, my high school sweetheart, and the other part of myself was dead. Among that denial, I immediately turned on myself verbally, and I began accusing myself that I failed to do what I promised. If I did care, he wouldn't be dead. If I did care, I would have tried harder. If I did love him, he would not have died alone, overdosed. Those were some of the thoughts I had infect my mind, and I verbally stabbed myself with relentlessly. What felt like eternity, I was snared in that seizure-like horror state, an endless loop that only got broken from another text message. I heard and felt the vibration from my phone, a few inches from my head, and I threw myself in an animalistic way looking down at my phone. I began to hyperventilate, sob and wheeze in exhaustion, and I frantically struggled to unlock my phone to see who messaged me and what was said. It was from my grandmother, asking how I was doing in my apartment, and that she missed seeing me around the house. I was then, yet again, put in a stressful and taxing decision to make. Do I respond, ask for help, and not experience this alone? Or do I lie and say what was expected to be said as if all was well? I called my grandmother. Despite being near impossible to understand and sobbing to an intense degree, she took initiative and drove down to my apartment. I also pleaded to get my biological mother on the phone for comfort. Both spoke what had to be said, and I listened and not once interrupted them. It being short, my mother had to get back to her work, but assured she would call upon getting off work. And my grandmother had to return home to make dinner. My grandmother informed me to call her or come to the house if I needed to, anytime or any day. She stepped out, and as she walked away to the car she drove, I watched her disappear behind the vehicle. The door behind, no, the door to the outside world closed, and my sight dropped onto the small bit of tile flooring in the front of the door. I stood there, void of all emotions. Hold on, I gotta grab something. Hold on. I'm still here, just in case. Because yeah, it's probably more likely gonna just come out. So be prepared. Ugh. See, okay, we got a minute. There we go. I stood there void of all emotions and awareness. I lifted my head, blinked a few times, and put my hand, not head, on the top lock of the door. I firmly locked it shut and the knobs locked below. The three windows allowing light in I covered with sheets and blankets, blocking every trace of light getting in. Then I went onto my workplace scheduling system on my laptop and put in the max time off possible immediately, which was a week, 7 days. I slammed my laptop shut after putting it in, completely uninterested if it was approved or not, and flung my computer onto the ground, and it slid under my couch. I turned my phone off, following suit, and flung it in the same as I did my laptop, and it went under the couch. I stood and approached my only light switch, which, funny enough, where is it? Where is it? The light switch in the picture right there. It was that light switch. By the way, that one. Back we go. Let it go. That lit the main room of my apartment, and I switched it off. I then walked slowly and with a void expression into the darkness until I remembered where the door was leading outside. Then I stopped my steps. I turned 180 degrees facing the way I just walked. Lifted my head to being engulfed in the blackness of the void. 1 second was all it took. An ear-shattering shriek exploded from my mouth, and my body violently shook. From only just my neck, I threw myself onto the ground. So think of it like from just my neck, kind of like that, just onto the ground as if someone grabbed the right side of my head and arched it over onto my left side and slammed me into the darkness. I lifted my head and forcefully slammed against the carpet floor, and the same thoughts from before came back. Only this time I was speaking them aloud with each contact made on the floor, while also emitting the ear-shattering shrieks occasionally. After some blows to the floor with my head, I struggled back to my feet. I don't like how the pages are sticky-ish. I struggled back to my feet. I felt dazed, unbalanced, and I felt a warmness flow down the left side of my head. I threw myself against the wall, which was made of block. Like the whole wall was cinder block, and struck it as if I was striking myself. Again, the same shrieks came along with the harshness I had said to myself prior. I had thrown myself at the wall so intensely that I forced the air out of my lungs and began gasping as if I was drowning out of water. My railing and cruel remarks to myself resumed, along with the self-crippling destruction to myself. Resumed as if stuck in a never-ending cycle. The flowing warmness began to radiate all over my face, and I tasted that warmness, and it had an iron-heavy taste. You can put two and two together to think like, oh, yep, that's what that was. Suddenly, I stopped. I didn't feel anything and lost all control of myself. All I saw was the black void encasing me in it, and not a sound or anything. I was not sure if I was dead or asleep, but I was aware of my existence. That alone got me to explode back into that same loop. And each time I stopped and began, the assault on myself got more and more cruel. From throwing myself, I began striking myself as hard as I could across the face, stomach, and anywhere else I impulsively felt to damage. I felt more dazed and lost my footing. That I fell and struck my head against the small kitchen shelf which protruded from the kitchen. I again lost all feeling and no control remained still. I became aware again, which repeated the cycle. This time I exploded in the same way again, but felt around for something to strike myself with. I found a long and wooden object and began striking myself from the left side to my right randomly. The warm flow sensation was dispersed all over my body, and I did not let up. I fell unaware yet again. This repeated an additional 3 times. Then on the 7th set of punishment, I began hearing a voice. Then I knew it was the only voice I heard that made my entire being recover. It was my love's voice, except I heard a crying and scared plea. Help me, please, 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 don't let me die like this, please, please. I covered my ears to block it out, but it only grew louder and louder. I begged for the voice to stop because that was what destroyed the depths of my being the most. Nothing afflicted the harshest feeling of dread and despair than the sound of my lover being afraid, hurt, and helpless. I snapped my neck back as far as I could and screeched as loud as I could to make it all stop. After screeching and struggling to breathe while also coughing and sobbing, my face looking behind while I was still standing with my back arched, I stood in that void place I began to drift again. So think of it kind of like this. I'm going to try and do it. So think of it kind of like that. Yeah. I would have gone much lower, but there's a bed in the way. I had the idea now. I can't live in this world like this. I'm leaving this world. From that disturbing stance, I snapped myself back to standing vertical. So, kind of like that. And made my way to the kitchen space, panting and struggling to move. I reached into many places for a bowl container of some kind. I grabbed sharp things to blunt, and once I comprehended a container to suffice, I felt my way to below the sink. There was where I kept all my cleaning chemicals such as bleach and wood cleaner with many more. I grabbed anywhere between 5 to 6 bottles and dumped them all into this bowl-like container. After the last bottle and I dropped it, the scent I smelled was chemically potent that I threw up and without even knowing where I projected it. I grabbed the bowl, turned and felt the ground change to carpet as I moved. After both feelings on my feet felt my awareness again. I became aware yet again. In front of me I saw the bowl container completely illuminated and visible. It sat in front of me, about 3 feet away from me. I crawled my way to it and said my goodbye to this world. Only in arm's reach, I was prepared to consume what was in the bowl upon contact, and I reached towards it. Next to both my ears, an explosive and deafening roar, identical of a jet plane taking off. A voice of a raspy and wheezing woman spoke, "Get the fuck up or you'll die." I can't do it, but still, kind of like, yeah, get the or you're going to die, but like um, like a raspy woman's voice. Yeah, and it was just, oh gosh. I mean, I'm just hearing it all over again in my head. I was petrified and stunned in place, so much as if I was turned to stone. I didn't breathe or move, and it felt eternal. Fearful and mortified at that voice, I gingerly lifted my head to see. A woman stood behind the bowl, and she stood looking down at me, and I was locked into gazing back exactly eye to eye with her. Her left side was vibrant in her skin complexion and was flawless in the skin's health. Her hair was a golden frost blonde and had a crown made of ice snow colored crystal placed on her head. The style, her hair perfect, and not a strand of her hair was misplaced. Her hair was medium length and the bangs covered up to her eyebrow without going over them. She had an arctic ice blue iris eye, and it shed a crystal clear tear, and it dripped slowly down and glistened down her cheek. Her lips and mouth had a healthy pink tone to them, and were neutral frowned in shape. She was wearing a royal purple attire of that of a noblewoman, a Victorian-style dress that was vibrant purple and had a trim of gold, and she had a glove with the same coloring, but fingerless as well. Her right side was not the same, not even close. In fact, it was also as if it was dead weight to her. Her hair was pitch black and knotted together with blood and bones, as if it had never been cleaned. It was thick and fell over her face. Her face was rotting, and the front of her skull was visible. She had no eye, and a tear the most bloody red fell from her eye socket, but flowed slow and precise. She had no jaw, but only had the upper part of her mouth still attached. Her teeth were all that remained. Her dress was now black and blood-stained, with rips and tears all throughout it. Her arm was broken and protruded from her elbow, and it was being held in an unnatural way. Kind of like that. Her hand was bone and skinned, but it was facing the opposite direction as her arm was facing. So arm was facing like that way, but then it would be like twisted, yeah, like that. Her leg was visible, except her knee was caved in backwards, and her foot was forward but facing the other way. We kept our gaze at each other, and I heard weeping of numerous voices as if a crowd of people were mourning. She broke the stairs. She extended her dead arm to me, and as she moved it, it cracked, snapped, and voices of people began to wail and shriek in pain. Her hand snapped back into place and was outstretched to me, limp and lifeless. Without hesitating in fear, I grabbed it as tight as I could. Her hand was as if I grabbed dry ice. And I felt myself standing up. All the dread I felt was gone, and I no longer heard the begging voice. I stood and looked slightly up at her. She faintly smiled and slowly nodded her head. She slowly dissipated away into the void and darkness, and I was silent the whole time. I walked over to where I knew the couch was and felt around for my phone. I turned it on and took a picture of myself with the flash on. I didn't see how it came out, and I had no service for my phone. I turned on my flashlight and saw the aftermath of blood and mess made of the entire endeavor. I went straight to cleaning it all up and went down the half hall towards the bathroom. I looked to the left, and in the mirror I saw my face with dried blood marks and bruises, and it was littering my entire body. I immediately got into the shower, cleansed myself of all the dried blood. While I was washing myself, I accepted the fact that the love of my life passed away, and thought of how I was always going to remember him by. I stepped out of the shower and dried myself up, and I looked at my phone again, and it was February 7th, 2017. Before the 8th at 11:40 p.m. I walked down the hall, and my phone vibrated, and I checked it. I gasped in shock. I had received a Snapchat message from him. I frantically unlocked my phone and played it. He was holding his phone and said into the camera, "Hi, babe. No, blah. Hi, babe. I'm okay. Everything is cool. I love you. Call me. Bye. Love you." I fell to my knees and clutched my phone as if I was holding my love the tightest I could, close to my chest. Close to my chest. I began crying in relief and gratitude. I looked up and around and I yelled, "Whoever you are, thank you. I devote myself to you for saving my life, stopping a catastrophe, and stopping the love of my life from facing my vain death. I am at your service." I researched who she was, and I found her name, Hell. And that was how I met Hell. True story. And that, yeah. None of that. Now the thing was like not said. It was intense, and it's just. And I never, excuse me, never knew who hell was before that. And if it wasn't for her, I would not be here right now. And even that can kind of also goes to show if somebody's ever in a state like in their mind where they're just so so in a bad space where they are contemplating to take their life, and if they go through with it, there's no going back. This is an example of being stopped and showing that, hey, if you went through with it, it would have been in vain, and he would have to go for the rest of his life without you. The whole entire the individual that said that is not I'm not going to really get into that because that's just really not really necessary, but still the main thing is that never knew her. She came on her own and stopped me. And it is a true story. And I just have to say, because I mean, I've had also some people, I feel like a good handful. I've had a good handful of people actually either one try and either kind of how do you say that? Yeah. I've had some people discredit it. Some people not disown it, but pretty kind of invalidated it. If that makes sense, like the way that they responded to it. Like when I'm just like saying like, "Well, this is what happened," and I've had somebody else just say like, "Well, oh, how do they put it?" I can't believe I'm actually going to go and look this up. Crap, where is it? Where is it? Where is this bloody thing? I'm going to say it so that way. Bloody. Oh, wait. I can just do this. Keep it simple, dimwit. Hapaduski. Well, come on, phone. Stop being dimwitted. Because the way he said it was a little bit odd, but you're the only one that exists, and pretty much all like everything else is what was it? How was it said? We're not bothered with any apparent god or goddess. Deep down it's just you and God and the universe and whatnot. Yeah. All else is a fiction, and I mean, That's like just an example of like what people have said, and I mean worst, like somebody actually saying like the worst one. I don't even know of crap. Let's see. Oh wait. Oh wait a minute. I know. Let me play Dig Dug. Let me find it because it's pretty bad. And that same post on my page, I had a lot of my friends actually come flying out of nowhere and just come out of left field. And I mean, I have to say, I appreciate every single person that just came on in like throwing spears. Yeah, there we go. Here to go. Like when someone said, this twitehead. Let's see where to go. Oh no, not there. That's the wrong one. Wrong one. This one. I got the wrong place. Where the bloody heck is this thing? I found it. Wah. Wah. Yep. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I was talking with somebody that I was friends with a long time ago, and I said I showed this individual a picture of hell, which was this one. If I can get my phone up. I mean to bop you like that. Okay, there we go. Only two ways. I showed that picture. If I don't know, just there. Okay. Well, that made it not so good, but still. You can kind of see like right there. Focus, you stupid phone. There you go. There's that image, and then the image of her that I got while up, and there's her head, there's her face right there, and there's the cloak. Yeah, showed him an image of that. And the thing that was said was like, hope you know that will fail. Oh, here's the problem. Yeah, here's the problem. Hope you know that will fail. But here's the thing. If it failed, then how come I'm still alive? And saying, I worship and follow my enemy, whatever. But the thing is, I don't worship any deities. I don't put myself below them. I know you, and life's been hard on you. I've seen your Antichrist women. No. For one thing, hell doesn't have time for that crap. The horror of Babylon. The horror of Babylon, who masters scared. Oh, here's the problem, dude. Hell doesn't have time to be doing that kind of stuff. Really, she does not have time for that. If anything, she's like, no. Do you mind? Can I just go back to take care of the dead, please? She'd rather, take care of her obligation than deal with it. And but yeah, it was not good. And to be quite honest, I'm someone who acknowledges all faiths and beliefs, but the minute that somebody, regardless of whoever it is, tries to tell me, oh, that trauma you went through, that you almost killed yourself, and you being stopped by by her. Oh, come on, be real. That didn't happen. Like, no, that's all fiction. I think I would kind of know if I almost killed myself by suicide. I think I would know what would happen. I think I would, recall that because it's embedded in my head. So it's like, people. Oh, I gotta turn my thing back on. Well, but one of them has the Facebook deleted, and the other one I kind of give it talking to because it was like cupcake. Everybody has their own faith in what they believe in. Okay. Whatever somebody else believes, it doesn't affect me. Whatever their faith is, it doesn't affect me, regardless of what it is. It's valid. Even if I don't get it, it's still valid. Even though it's because it's not mine, I don't have a right to, disprove it or say like, oh, that's fiction, or come on, be real. I can't do that. No, that's not my place to say. But if somebody thinks that, oh, well, no, that's not right. Well, I find it so cute that somebody thinks that they can just come on and be all like, oh, I don't like your faith like that. Okay, and what's the point? Oh, you don't like the divine figure that I'm close with and associating with? Okay. So what's your point? I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like either in this world, but I put up with them. You being one of them. That's none of my business. But that's one of the things that agitate me. It's like something that is very traumatizing and very almost life-threatening. Being told that, oh, that didn't happen, or like it's fiction. No. Because really that just tells me it just tells me that kind of an individual is like, I don't think how do I put this in a very soft, gentle way? I'm trying to think of a good way to put it. If somebody cannot be able to appreciate that and actually see that, oh, this is serious and this means a lot to him, and instead they shoot it down, let's just hope that they don't go through something traumatizing like that and come towards me, and then, like, say tragedy strikes one of them. They come to me, oh, relax, honey, that didn't happen. Relax. No. You're just being overly anxious, honey. Relax. That's not going to happen. But it just did. No, it didn't. That was all fiction, hon. Calm down. You're good, hon. But that's no. That's just, I don't even like that. Even my whole being is getting a little sick after saying that. Because you're not supposed to be invalidating somebody's experience like that. Because the thing is like, if somebody is invalidating your attempted, taking of your life like that, I had to do a brain reset. Well, one of the things I love to call them is like, oh, look, it's a he who font. Believe what I do. No, it has to be like this. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, the thing is, I was first-handed. But I mean, the thing is, at least on the good side, though, well, actually, a few good things. Number one, they're showing me absolutely what not to do. Second thing, they become butt of all the jokes. Don't look at me. Wise man once said, it is wise for you to have faiths once in a while, especially when you have stupid thoughts in head. Because all it takes is one of those things in head to come out, and now you become the rosy-cheeked butt of jokes. Mm-hmm. What is this? What is this? No! Stop sending me that. Ugh. I do not want one of those again. But I might have to change like the. Can I do that while it's live still? Get out of the way. Oh yes I can. I'm gonna just do this. Cupcake. Come on, let's go. Yeah, one more button. There to go. Click. There we go. Fixed. Because yeah, I don't think I'll be doing any of those kind of reading things yet. But I mean, I'm just trying to also find a way to get in there. Silly stones. Ugh. I'm still trying to also find a way to actually not really find a way. I figure out a time for me to like really go live and actually start getting like some super chats going and the whatnot because I think I said in the last live stream that I'm just gonna put it what I'm always used to saying and the best way to put it because it makes sense to me. That's the best I got. My somewhat like mother-in-law kind of. Yeah, somewhat. I'm just gonna say mother-in-law. Close enough. Deal with it. Don't like it. I don't know how else to put it, so go with it. Just go with it. I mean, it could be worse. It can be like, sugar mama-in-law. Oh, that sounds so weird. Sugar mama and oh my gosh. Oh man. No, not doing that again. But no seriousness. Yeah, she fell and broke her wrist. So yeah, sugar mama-in-law. No, none of that. But she broke her wrist and she doesn't have insurance. So I'm just like, let me see if I can try and get some kind of mission thing going and the whatnot, just to kind of help with the bills, with the bill and the whatnot. And yeah, like all the frickle is going on here. I don't care. Go away. Skedaddle. Jump off cliff. Land on head. Thank you. Skedaddle. Get out of the way. Yeah. What? No. Go away. No, not you. This thing. Go away. Stop vibrating my phone. Quit it. But anyway. So yeah, that's why mainly I'm just hoping that like some kind of super chats of some kind or fundraising of some kind can come through. Because like anything that does come through is just gonna go whatever to her to help get that covered. And her being already on I think she's on SSI, I think she is. Yeah, but it's already hard enough for her. Well, that was on. Okay, I just saw a weird advertisement and I hope to Lord Lanta will never say that again. Yeah. Well, Rahu and K2, well, K2 going in Scorpio and Rahu going in Taurus. They're, well, according with the Western placements, though, for Vedic, it's actually Aries Libra. But for terms of Western, you're actually now having Rahu and Ketu going into their exaltation points. Because Rahu feels at its best dignity in the sign of Taurus. Ketu co-rules the sign of Scorpio, but also feels well, he feels like the most, like at his highest dignity in Scorpio. Because, point being, K2 is that the node where it's like, I've already accomplished this. Why am I going through this crap again? Meh with it. So Scorpio. Somebody's past life experiences get brought in terms of tragedy, dark karmic events, like pretty much all the stuff about Scorpio. K2's like, I've already done this. Why am I doing this again? Meh with it. I just go back to this pattern. I'm already used to it. I don't need to go for it. It's like being detached from. Well, but then it also depends on each person's chart and where Scorpio and Taurus are. But as for Rahu, he has a ball game in Taurus because Rahu gets to nom 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 all the Taurisian things, which is culinary arts, luxury, wealth, comfort. So if you have any planets within Scorpio and Taurus, they're gonna get conjunct with them. If it makes you feel better, my Venus and Pluto are gonna be like stepped on by K2. Well, that is not gonna be good. Venus be all like, oh god, not the headless guy. No, not him. He doesn't even know what he's doing. Oh, please don't grab Pluto. Please don't grab Pluto. Man. Yeah. Oh, great. No, yeah, exactly. And I don't have anything in Taurus. I don't, but mine has a sun in Taurus, just barely on Taurus, like right on the middle. So Rahu going on the sun. Boy, that's going to be flaming. God. Rahu makes the sun a little bit too vibrant. Like extremely overkill, flamboyant, loud, like overkill. And then, yeah, that'd be going Rahu, then be in Taurus, so then I'd be looking at Virgo and Capricorn. Then K2 would be looking at Pisces and Cancer, because that's how they aspect. They aspect the 5th and 9th place. So Rahu will be looking at Virgo and Capricorn. My Jupiter is going to get looked at by Rahu like, oh, Guru, come here, come here. Oh, bless you, Rahu, just bless you. Come here, bless you. While my Uranus and Neptune, I really hope not, because the whole thing is, to be honest, in my loving opinion, okay, nations, we're how old now? Why are we still doing this? Not why. Land? Okay, that's cute. You have your own. Worry about your own land. Hands off. You have your land. We have ours. Leave it. No, don't talk back. You stay in your boundaries. You be hospitable. We give you same. Simple. Don't care if nope. Nope. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I don't like it either, but deal with it. So what? At least that's my view. It's like if a nation is like another nation, then why keep giving attention to it? And I mean, if anything, and also, I mean, I'm looking at it this way too. I wonder if I should be taking my people, like especially the young men, and actually have them go and get themselves killed, just for me to get land or just get vengeance or invade, just for whatever reason. Okay, put it this way. Do you have to go in and do you have to go and seize land? Do you have to do it? Are you defending yourself, or are you being aggressive and going out and taking over something because you just want to take it and grab it? Because if that's the case, no. You can play something to get that anger out somewhere else, and you have plenty of land. Depopulation, okay, good. Why don't we start killing off the ones that don't kind of being the most of a threat? The ones that are the most of a threat. But how do we know which one those are? Well, let's start off with the ones that had gotten us into this big hot mess in the first place, regarding COVID and all that. But now keep in mind, I do understand that some things cannot be helped. I do understand that. But some things, on the other hand, some things could have just been all. And these are my living opinion. Too many lives were taken. Way too many. And it's sad. And if they want to depopulate, okay, well, keep it both simple. Don't know how to say this, but depopulate, well, sometimes you don't get what you want, you gotta deal with it. I mean, oh well. There's too many people on this planet. Okay. Yep, and I mean the whole. Now you didn't hear this from me. 90%. And I like how it just feels like the whole world just stopped moving, because it just went like still. 90% of all conspiracy theories actually are correct. %. Are you talking about the ones that are that's in the state, right? Not the country, right? Because I mean, I know there's a Georgia country. That's in the state, right? The state of Georgia? Or am I getting the Georgias mixed up again? Curiosity, how does that? Okay, let me see. Oh, well, look at this. It's funny, the card that I pulled from this deck, look at that. It's like, oh, look, handing me a telegram. Oh, I got a message for you. What does it say? Oh, I'll open it then, you dummy. Oh, well, what does it say? Just take it and open it. Fine, I'll do that. That's the current position right now. Okay, here to go. Let's see. Oh, those things. Okay, let's see. Astronomically aligned. An additional stone tablet which is set in the ground on a short distance from the west. Notes of history and purpose of the guidestones. American Stonehenge, okay. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. The anonymity of the guidestones, authors, and their apparent advocacy of population control, origins, and internationalism have made an object of controversy. Let me see. Let me see what. Oh, for really? Why do you have to do that? A message containing a set of 10 guidelines or principles is engraved in the guide. Languages are in English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. Oh, wow. Classical, Babylonian, Sanskrit, hieroglyphic. Age of reason. Okay. Let me see this. Channel through stone indicates celestial pole. Channel through stone indicates celestial pole. The south node and the north node and south node. Rahu, Ketu. Wait. Through the stone, celestial pole. North pole, Rahu, south node, south pole, Ketu. Horizontal slot indicates the travel of the sun. Okay. Horizontal, like this. Sun rises from the east. Sunbeam through capstone marks noontime throughout the year. So that's the 10th house. Okay. Next. A small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. Place 6 below the spot on to be open. The words appear as shown under the time capsule heading. No dates are engraved. Okay. Physical data. Down, you dimwit. But the whole thing of like maintain humanity under 500 in balance in nature, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity, unite humanity with a living new language, which technically grow passion, faith, tradition, all things with tempered reason, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. That's never going to happen. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. No. Because now the thing is that you're not allowing a nation to be itself. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. That I can agree with. There's a petty laws. Well, you need law and order. You can't just be like, oh, petty laws. Oh, you steal whatever. There has to be some, balance personal rights with social duties. Okay. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Okay. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. Be not a cancer on the earth. Are you trying to say don't be a crab on the earth? Cancer? Don't be like a plug? Okay. And if I am what? Death to the New World Order. And there's another one that says, "I am ISIS, goddess of love." Okay, if you believe so, then whatever you say. Well, there's that 6. They want that many people on this earth? Well, keep in mind, that's how many people? That's less than the United States altogether. 500,000? Yeah, that's like the state of California, like a small fraction of it. Oh. That or somebody had a lot of the time on their hands. A lot of time on their hands. This card actually kind of describes like how I'm right now. I'm just fiddling my diddle, and I have no idea what's going on. I'm blindfolded. I'm playing the fiddle. Fiddle me dicks. One problem though, if they want to be at the original Garden of Eden, well, okay. It's like Lilith's gonna have to come back out and play again. Oh, we get to do this again? Oh, I already know how it's gonna happen. No, Yahweh, the answer is still no. God damn it! He just can't take no for an answer. And I don't blame her. I mean, I wouldn't want to be with something that has, a gray, decayed, crusty, cobweb-like beard. I don't want that to get that anywhere in my mouth. No, yuck. Better submit to him. What are you gonna do, man? Careful now, you might fall and break your hip. I don't want that to happen. Easy, cupcake. I am, but no. You better believe what I do. You better believe and do what I say, or you're going to hell. That's it. Nope, not doing it. You're gonna burn in eternal damnation. No. I'm already in eternal damnation. Putting up this. No. Or probably one of my favorite ones. You're such a vile abomination. Me? No, you're just jealous. Stop it. You called me an abomination. Careful, that's a big word. Careful now. Make sure you're not having your mouth, say words that are a little bit big for your kind of IQ level. Careful now. I don't want you to pull a nerve in your head. Every time when I think of hearing something like that, like an insult towards me, I always hear like, God hates facts. But what are you, stupid? Of course he does. I mean, they kill people. Why would you not like them? Why would you not hate them? Oh, not that kind of way? Me? Oh, no. Oh, no. I thought you meant the other kind. I'm sorry. My whoops. No. I mean, if he does, I'm like, I don't care. Ooh. Not gonna hurt. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings then. It's a sin. Jokes on you. Sin's just an opinion. With this guy for your sins or whatever the heck. Why? He didn't have to do that. Besides, why is his father having him go be killed for me? I didn't even know them. Okay. Creepy. You don't know what he gone through. No, really, I don't. And I don't know what to say, but you didn't have to have yourself be killed just for somebody who's just fine. That's none of my business. But anyway, I'm probably going to end the stream here because nothing seems to be happening. And I'll probably come back on tomorrow and actually really start getting, try and get something going. I do have more video ideas to do also, but I'm just like so. But anyway, I'm going to take my leave for right now, and I'll see y'all later then.